Гадость такая. Что это сейчас было? Так. Сервер я больше не... В смысле, блять? Какого хера? Между тем. Всем привет, с вами Дан, Жека, Йоля. И... какого-то хрена. Какого хрена? Спрашивается. Почему? Так, мне надо сейчас раскачаться, вспомнить, что я тут делаю. Начну сюда. Ага.
Something on your mind?
Да.
Of course.
Почему ты остался храмовником, если ненавидишь церковь?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Вот как? Кажется, я ни разу не видел, чтобы ты его надевал.
I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know.
Значит, поэтому ты с юмором отклоняешься от вопросов?
I'd use my shield if I could, but I think you might actually spot me hiding behind it. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Ну, давай рассказывай.
Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
И что же тебе понравилось в обучении?
The education, mostly, but also the discipline. We need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere there, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
Мой дом был захвачен Эрлом Холл.
Right. Stupid of me to ask. I'm sorry. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
Их можно возродить.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Ну, может быть так. Так, Лилиана. Лилиана.
Yes?
Поговорить с собой
Well,
хотим.
here I am.
Так, что по
Of course
рассказам
I
тебе?
do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Какие-нибудь альвесианские истории знаешь?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline,
береги,
the
Юля.
Knight of Olay.
Ничего интересного.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield a sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Давай, дальше.
Avelin's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Дальше.
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Ну, я надеялся, что конец будет получше.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Orlais so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Давай дальше. Стэн.
You called.
Так.
Speak then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised.
Ну, тебе не кажется странным, как живут ферилденцы?
To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Our farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
А кунари никогда не хотят изменить свой жеребий?
What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell.
Но панцирь делает черепаху сильнее.
Does it? It's also his weakness. If he stumbles and falls over, it pins him on his back. It is better to armor yourself with no more than what you need. One life, one duty.
Ну. Пожалуй, прав.
Shall we move on?
Кажется, ты тоскуешь по дому.
Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharon. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs.
Ты еще забыл про тухнущий помой.
True. I was trying to forget that part. Shall we move on?
Да, пойдем.
As you wish.
Ни хрена себе. Вот это я понимаю, вот это охрененно. Так.
Hello. The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
А какого рода колдовство он творит?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform. But my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
And there you have it.
Boy.
Enchantment!
If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the good...
Так, показывай, что там у тебя. Да у меня денег-то немного. Не стоит сколько? Ну, стоит 7. Стоит 7. Мне такого продать-то тебе. Даже не знаю, что продать такого. Одежду можно продать, наверное. Кстати, по инвентарю. Блин, плюс 4 к атаке, конечно, но. Опять же, но. Статы. Статы они такие. $750. К атаке. Блин. Кто ты там разоряешься, а? Скажи мне, пожалуйста, Жека. Мне надо качать силу. 1.20, 1.20. Это что? 750, 750. Так. 4.0, 4.0. Кольца на него нет. Кольца на него нет. 2 к телосложению. А, точно. Точно. А, ну можно их продавать, понятно. Четыре к атаке. Один 75, 0.83, 1.25, 1.25. Я думаю, может, Мориган что-то это дать, слушай, в защите. Что у меня сейчас есть? Застежка из самоцветов. Пусть будет такое. Стэноча. Пробивание брони. Одноручная. Блин. Это можно продать. Ясно.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to... I'm sure you...
Жека, сделай одолжение. Всего лишь одно одолжение. Заткнись, пожалуйста. Так, 1-0, 1-25. 1-25. Опа. В духовной магии. А у нас с духовной магией нет никого. Обидно. Жека! Жека! Жека. Так, а почему у меня денег стало еще меньше? Должно было быть больше. Вроде бы. Нет, разве? Нет. Странно. Где мои деньги? Да, Джек. Хороший вопрос.
I once heard a really old legend about how the hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Но я бы никогда не словил кормить
It's
человечницами.
not
Ты чё?
cannibalism if he's eating it, you know.
Какое-то задание выполнено. Какое задание? Понятия. Так. Денерим, Арзамар, Вес, глубинные тропы. Так, тут мы уже были. Слушай, давай-ка это самое. Затаримся у него.
Are you sure I can't? I'm sure.
Затаримся у него целебными припарками, потому что у нас их не так, чтобы и много. Все, погнали. Так.
Yes.
Нам понадобится
Yes.
он, она и она. Направимся мы куда? Погоди. Мы никуда не направимся.
Huh. Yes.
Indeed. Indeed.
Так, мы сейчас вот здесь. А пойдем-ка мы вот сюда. Никто же на нас не нападет по дороге, я надеюсь.
And here we are, Soldier's Peak. Maker's breath. Look at the size of her. What a fortress. I told you the map would get us through the tunnels.
Просто признайся, пару раз ты сбился с пути.
I wasn't lost, it's just that the map got soggy. Bah, we're here. So, I'll follow you about, from a distance.
This place has the stench of death. I expect there's trouble up ahead.
Soldier's Peak. Looks like it's seen better days. Better centuries, more like.
Once the wardens flourished, their ranks full, their caliber certain. Now they even accept people like you, Alistair.
Hey.
Так. Так, Лилиан скоро прокачается, хорошо.
Fall back already!
Taking the peak will not be easy, my lord.
I gave the wardens one chance to die with honor. Instead, they hole up like cowards. We follow the king's advice then. Starve them out.
But the peak has months of supplies.
Then we wait. When they are too weak to lift their weapons, we will send them to their final judgment.
What was that? Felt a bit woozy there. I'm not mad, am I? You saw it too?
I've heard an Orlesian ballad about something like this. A beauty trapped in a dream. In the song, Belisa never wakes up.
Your prissy friend here is making me nervous, Warden. How's this even possible? The place must truly be haunted.
Пойдем дальше.
Yes, Warden.
Ну все, началось. В смысле, не сработало? Ну, там еще и сзади идут. Ой. Они хилятся, ах ты разин. Так, Алистер, ты сейчас отъедешь, слушай, дружище. Я, в принципе, тоже. Отлично. Теперь убери его отсюда. Так, Лилиана, ты можешь его пригвоздить? А Мориган? Так, потерю ориентации ему дай. Все? Нет, не все, сзади, сзади, сзади.
Run while you can.
Хрена себе у меня. 20. Так, Алистер, ты там это самое. Живи давай. Так, Лилиана, ты можешь там, я не знаю, сделать вот так его? Алистер, пей. Алистер, я говорю, пей. Я ему там это накинула.
All right.
О, нехерово так, слушай.
Going.
Херово так накидывают.
And I'm off.
Есть еще что? Вроде бы нет. Проблема в том, что у нас, блин, уровень недостаточно высокий. У нас всего лишь 7-й.
Alistair here.
Так, Алистер скоро подкачаешься, Мориган и Лилиана. Думаю, нам надо покинуть немножко это место. Пойдем сюда. Угу. Ага, ну конечно, пошли. Лыжник заблокированный. Здрасте.
Rough travels out here, eh? We even saw darkspawn on the way in.
Куда вы теперь?
We're delivering a message to the Chantry in Denерим. You?
А что-то послание?
We saw a blood mage down near the Brazilian forest. We're off to tell the Chantry about him.
Ну, да вы никуда не пойдете.
I thought you said... Wait, you're serious?
Ну, давай мы сами это сделаем.
I suppose that's all right. As long as it gets there. Stay safe.
А, лол, серьезно? Можно было и так.
All right.
And I'm off.
Ладно, пойдем дальше. Чё. Так можно было, да?
Huh. You'll have to forgive me if I seem a bit nervous. Not many people travelling in this part of Ferelden. Of course, that's part of my problem, isn't it? Mule got spooked by a wisp and ran off into the woods. Now what do I do?
Собственно, а что ты здесь делаешь?
Oh, waiting for my helper to find the damn mule, of course. Freezing! Oh, I suppose you meant, why am I out here? As in this part of the country. Allow me to introduce myself. Felix de Grosbois, merchant and entrepreneur at your service.
Купец здесь.
I don't normally take this route, but with the war, I was hoping for a bit of luck and good weather in the mountains. Sadly, I've had neither. Ugh, this trip has been one miserable disaster after another. I don't suppose you consider helping a fellow out?
Помочь проезжему бродяге как?
Of all the other things that went wrong, the worst is this artifact I brought in Jada. It's a control rod, I'm told, for a golem. No point in me keeping it, however, as I'll never get to use it. But, maybe you could?
В чем подвох?
The catch? Yeah, I suppose it is a catch, isn't it? The catch is that the golem didn't come with the rod. It's supposed to be down in a village down south, waiting to be activated. Even if I could get down there, which I can't, I understand the place has been overrun by darkspawn. That's not such an issue for adventurous types like yourself, surely? Or I'm hoping that's so, at least.
Ну откуда мне знать, что он сработает вообще? А, хотя нет. Для чего он нужен?
The dwarf I brought it from said it activates and controls a golem. So long as you have it in your hand, the golem does what you say. Might be useful, no? I mean, you look like the sort who could use one, yes?
Откуда мне знать, сработает ли он вообще?
The fellow I brought it from is a long-standing contact. He didn't want to come to Ferelden, however, with all our troubles. He said he got it from the man who owned this golem. But to be honest, I have no idea if it will work. Hence the low price. What do you say?
Сколько ты за него хочешь?
Nothing. I just don't want to have to lug around something that might be taken for a gemstone by some bandit. To be honest, I don't even know if it'll be useful to you. I paid too much to simply throw it away.
Ну, он мне может пригодиться.
Just as well. As I mentioned before, you'll find the golem down south, in a town called Honleith. I'll mark it here on your map. Just hold up the rod and say Dulaf Gar. That will wake the golem up, so I'm told. I hope it works.
Если не сработает, я вернусь.
Alright, well, then I really hope it works. Best of luck to you then. Now, I guess it's up to me to find that mule myself.
Давай-ка метнемся в морозные горы. А то там... Твою мать.
Never any shot.
Гардок, вожак. Сколько вас тут?
Right ahead. Right ahead.
О, господи. Так, Лилиана, не стой столбом. Удар ниже пояса давай.
It's your time to die! Right ahead.
Опа-на.
Good to go!
Так, Лилиана, ты же умеешь делать вещи, да?
Trap right ahead.
В смысле не удалось?
It's done. On my way.
Почему не удалось-то? Так. Ну, не удалось. Оружейные ловушки. Почему она не может? Какого хрена?
Yes?
Так, изготовление ловушек. Почему?
Yes, of course.
Так, кто-то попался. Кто попался? Да не получается, смотри-ка что.
All right.
Почему так? Ребята, а я вас ищу. Устойчивость, смотри-ка что. Ой, бля, нихера себе меня там. Приносит. Алистер отлетел, серьезно? Охренеть, что происходит? Меня тут рвут на части просто. Раскол оружия. Растянутый урон, да? Так, слушайте, меня такими темпами могут угрохать. Ой, бля. Чем это меня так? Я встать не могу. Жесть. Охренеть, просто охренеть. Да, зря мы сюда пришли. Так, давай-ка сюда. Ну, если честно, я сейчас сам не знаю, куда мне податься, по той простой причине, что...
The Major's Collective thanks you.
Вот, наконец-то, господи, боже мой. Бежит тебе 2 силы, 2 эти... ловкости. У тебя чё? Берегайтесь от дружественного огня. Спасибо. Хилы и нет смысла прокачивать, мне кажется. 25 магии. Ну вот тебе 25 магии. Блин. Магический щит. Чё, Лилиана до сих пор не прокачалась? Камон. Мне еще долго прокачиваться, конечно. Сколько там времени-то? Господи, Юля. Так, ладно. Можно еще. Уровень повышен. Не повышен. Обидно.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. I'm sure.
Так. Сколько он у тебя стоит? 7. Хреново, что 7. Мне бы он сейчас пригодился. Может в Денерим сходить, а?
Yes.
Indeed.
Пошли в Денерим сходим. Типа, что мы теряем? По сути, что? Ну да, конечно, сходили, да.
Will you stop eating?
I'm hungry.
Stuff your face at camp. For now, watch the bloody road.
Твою мать, сколько их тут?
Going.
Слушай, Мориган, а вбей им, пожалуйста, вот так вот. Хорошо, слушай, а можешь еще сделать? Ой, вот его можешь не трогать, а вот этого давай. Я какой-то очень медленный, слушай. Так, все, работайте. Я туда пошел. Что с ним? Сковывающий выстрел. Понятно. А у Мориган мана заканчивается. Здравствуйте. Что это вы тут делаете? Жахнем там по кому-нибудь. Так, Алистер, разберись. Куда ты там побежал? Спасибо, Мориган.
Yes.
Another point for me.
Снизу еще один бежит, как снаряд. Дружище, остановись. Ты же видишь, что ни в какую. Что ж ты? Что еще у вас для меня есть? Так, Лилиана. За работу. Не хватает умений. Сейчас все ее ухватит. Так, тут у нас Бард, да? Так. Вот изготовление ловушек тебе. Далее. Нужно 18 хитрости. Вот тебе 18 хитрости. Сложение и ловкость. Далее. Изготовление ловушек. Далее. Механик. Скрывай. Молодец. Можешь же, когда хочешь. Что еще тут у вас есть? Ой, смотри, тут еще пару сундуков. За работу. Ледяные стрелы. Что у тебя по стрелам, кстати? Уже закончились? Обратный путь. Разбийник.
Yes.
Так, пришли мы оттуда.
Trap right ahead.
Так. Разминировать сможешь?
As you like.
Обезвредить не удалось. А это?
It's done.
Обезвредить не удалось. Почему? Почему, твою мать? Ай, блядь. Айден, вставай. Хватит прикидываться. То есть она-то, конечно, находит ловушки, но почему-то она не может их обезвредить. И с этим у меня возникает вопрос, какого хрена?
So what's the deal with you and him anyway? Dare I ask?
Him? Him who? Is this supposed to mean something to me?
You know exactly who I'm talking about, Mr. Let's Make Kissy Faces over there.
My. You are jealous, aren't you? Did I take your favorite Grey Warden away from you?
What? I'm not jealous. I'm horrified.
Those blushing cheeks of yours tell a different tale.
These blushing cheeks are terrified that you'll suck all the blood out of them once you're finished with them.
If I feel the need to suck on anything of yours, Alistair, you'll be the first to know.
That was so not what I meant.
Perhaps we should go and tell him together about your touching concerns. Perhaps he'll pay more attention to you if you ask nicely.
I think we're done here.
Done before you started, in fact.
Я здесь, и я все слышу.
Good day.
All men are the work of our Maker's hands, from the lowest slaves to the highest kings. Those who bring ham without provocation.
Так, закупка Денерима. Найти секстант.
Are breaded and accursed by the Maker.
Those who bring ham. Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright.
Oh, my pardon. Just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's Board?
Кто ты?
I am Sister Justine, curator of the reliquary of this chantry. Pride again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste.
Чем ты занимаешься?
The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics. I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds.
Спустя столько лет еще можно найти новые реликвии?
My thought exactly, but I'm perpetually amazed at how quickly people accept fantastic claims at face value. A hawker on the street will claim to have an actual finger bone of Andraste. In this city alone, you could make the skeleton of 10 prophets from fingers alone. Curators often accept them as genuine. I worry about the authenticity of even our most holy artifacts.
Насколько трудно проверить подлинность реликвии?
When I was a curator of a much smaller chantry in Orlais, I thought that false relics slipped through because of laziness. But the life of the cloth is never an easy one, and that explanation always seemed hollow to me. Now I believe it's the seduction of the divine. We all want a personal connection to the Maker. We want to believe that what we hold in our hands is the actual sandal that slipped from Andraste's foot before the fires consumed her. Faith is of the heart, not of the head. When the heart is ungoverned by reason, charlatans have powerful tools to deceive.
Ну, так.
Of course, sir. On what topic?
Сколько ты нашла священных реликвий?
Well, there's one that might be real. I couldn't prove it wasn't. Perhaps you can understand my skepticism. So many claims. So few truths.
Расскажи о своей работе.
You've shown admirable patience listening to my doubt. Suffice it to say, I look for and authenticate holy relics for the chantry.
А как ты думаешь, урна священного праха существует?
Certainly, my research indicates that all of the ashes were gathered into a pot or urn, but it's been lost for centuries. That doesn't stop hawkers from selling pinches of the ashes of Andraste to gullible pilgrims. The real ashes may still be hidden somewhere, though it's possible the urn broke. Of course, it...
I know the town like the back of my hand.
Нахлопали, конечно.
Leave me to my business.
What's to be done? What can we do?
Just keep your head down, that's what. And your wits about you.
Так, потом решено охранить ключ сопротивления, грифоны подвинутся. Ну, чё?
What's to be done? What can we do?
Just keep your head down, that's what. And your wits about you.
They say you can get anything here. I once got pickpocketed.
All right.
If you have coin, welcome. If not, move along. Too many refugees blocking customers.
Но я не беженец.
I didn't think so, sir. Too much flesh on the bones. You walk tall, proud, not hunched. Sad times in Ferelden.
Что есть на
Oh,
продажу?
yes.
Что ты вообще продаешь? Рецепты. Санский лук. Вот шлем кунари. В основном всякое говно, да? А вот ты что скажешь?
Another visitor in my store. Enjoy browsing my wares.
Какого рода товар у тебя есть?
My cousin and I have trade connections all along the seaways. We have furniture, silks, carvings, and much more. Caesar handles the trade stock, I handle other affairs.
И что это за дела? Тебе нужна помощь?
No. Not yet. Perhaps one day. No, I am not. I am a trader at heart. My home is the road. But I was born past the waking sea in Antiva. It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was. On the docks of Rialto, life is cheap. As cheap as the dockside ale and the soiled horse. You can live a longer life out here. And a wise man can make a comfortable fortune in time.
С наступлением Мора и Ферилда не стало небезопасно.
Straightforward, predictable danger is refreshing to me. Any moment in Rialto, the streets can run red, and often do. I take Darkspawn any day. At least you can see them coming. Luck be to you, Warden.
Так, между тем.
You've returned, Warden.
Я не говорил, что я страж.
I heard it in passing. It is said there are few secrets in the market.
Ты что-то скрываешь.
Aren't we all? I mean you no harm. That should be enough. I'm afraid my appetite for conversation has waned.
Тогда в другой раз.
Don't stare at me, child. I can have my father send you south to fight that.
Yes. Going.
О, Господи. Так. Так. Варлбан. Так, денеримский эльфинаж.
So what makes them Grey Wardens so special?
By order of the new Earl of Dennerim, no one is to enter the alienage.
Эрл Хоу решил закрыть эльфинаж?
There's been an elven uprising. Knife ears even have the gall to attack the Earl's only son. Killed him in cold blood. With the whole Urian family dead, the regent appointed Rendon Howe of Amaranthine the new Earl of Dennerim. First thing he did was lead a purge of the
Ах ты,
aliens.
сука.
There's a mess in there. When things are put back in order, the gates will be reopened. Now on your way.
Да, не сможем мы пройти в эльфинаж.
A recruiter was here just an hour ago. Barely dodged him.
We'll both be pressed into the militia soon enough, just you watch.
You here to report another crime? I swear we should just cordon off the entire district. Oh, can I help you, Warden?
Откуда ты знаешь, кто я?
Your likeness was passed around to the senior guardsman at the palace. I must say, the sketch didn't do you much justice. Don't worry, even if I believed the official story of what happened at Ostagar, I'm no fool. If I asked my men to apprehend you, they'd all run and cry big sobby tears in their courtesans' bosoms and leave me all alone to be skewered. Don't disturb the peace in the market, and that's well enough for me.
Неужели торговый квартал и впрямь такое паршивое место?
The lower market isn't deemed important by the captain of the guard, even less with Arl Howe in charge. So when I finally get the new men I request, I get the delightful surprise of discovering their Lord Such-and-Such's illegitimate, untrained, moronic whelps. But lords keep sending me more of them. It's decent pay, no expectations, a uniform. So I have a legion of bastards to protect the market from pickpockets, stabbings, and whatnot. And Arl Howe's specially picked men are the worst of the lot.
Да уж, мы с Эрлом давние знакомцы. Расскажи мне о его вояках.
With the bastards, I just have to worry about dicing, the odd bit of drool, or yelling at them too loudly and hurting their poor feelings, and then getting chewed out by their noble fathers. But
I swear, the Arl's men are more criminal than the miscreants we occasionally arrest. Some of them are the criminals we have to arrest. So if your lifeblood isn't draining in the gutters as we speak, don't bother reporting it.
Я, собственно, хочу спросить, тебе помощь нужна?
What? You're serious? I mean, yes, I could use help. I've got a pretty popular establishment that's crawling with mercenaries. If I send my boys in, someone might get, maker forbid, hurt, and I'll have to explain to their noble fathers that being a guard is actually dangerous.
Что нужно сделать?
The name of the whorehouse is the Pearl. Beat down any mercenaries that are out of line and send them a message. I said beat down, not kill. Let me make that really clear. Not on fire, or exploded, or make a nose, whatever type of grisly death you can dream up. Sorry. Used to giving orders to my boys. Just leave them breathing and I'll be happy.
Окей.
Thank you, Warden. Happy hunting.
Ну, вряд ли я сейчас туда пойду. Потому что надо заканчивать уже. Время понимаю. Пока что остановимся здесь, в Денериме, прямо под носом у Хоу, у этого Лагейна. И продолжим уже в следующей серии. С вами был Дан, Жека, Йоля. Всем счастливо и всем пока.